Kane Vision welcomes in Kevin Harris, a University of Tulsa head rowing coach. And Coach, it's like Groundhog's Year, isn't it? Third straight year you lose second place or finish in second place to UCF, who gets the NCAA bid. Is that frustrating? But your girls are still fighting so hard. What's your reaction?
Well, I mean, first thing, hats off to UCF because they're legit. They've done a great job. Becky is just a wonderful head coach, and they're going to represent us well, the conference, at the NCAA championships. But yeah, it's frustrating. I'm not going to lie. We spend a whole year looking for that one moment, and to be so close to being able to take this team to the NCAA championships for the first time, it's frustrating. There's no doubt about it. But having said that, given some of the circumstances of our year with the high water and the fact that we didn't race for basically the month of April, I thought the team did really well with all of the challenges that we had. And I really feel like it's not the result that we wanted, but it was a great result.
And the interesting part to the layman, if you will, is the fact that, yes, UCF won all 6 races.
Yes.
And you finished second in all 6 races.
We finished second in 5.
5 of the
we
6.
were third in the third varsity 8.
Right. And so explain the situation that if
Okay.
your varsity 8 boat had been able to perform just a little bit better and maybe win that race, you might have gone to the NCAAs, right?
Yeah, well, it's a quirk in our particular conference because we have 6 boats that compete for the conference championship, but only 3 that can determine the NCAA bid. So the first varsity 8, the second varsity 8, and the 4 are the only ones that count toward the NCAA bid. Well, if you come in second in the 2v4, or sorry, in the second varsity 8 and the first varsity 4, those points are enough to keep you in contention for, if you win the first varsity 8, that makes a tie between the 2 crews, if those are the same crews finishing first, second, and then it flips. So the tiebreaker is the varsity 8. So if you win the varsity 8, then you would actually not win the conference, but you would go to the NCAA championship as the conference champion. And that's just a unique kind of quirk in the way our conference works versus the Ivy League or the Big Ten or the Pac-12. For about 10 seconds, I thought we were going to have that quirk come into existence because we were open water down on UCF, and our boat caught up to them in the last basically 300 meters of the race, and we finished with our bow on their 7 seat. So it really looked like we were moving so well into that last bit. And basically it comes down to there were about 10 strokes in the middle of the race that we didn't row as well as we could have, and UCF only had about 5 of those. So 2.4 seconds is about maybe 2/3 of a length of a boat. Yeah.
So you were able to push back to them, and
that's right.
And again, the layman reader on TulsaHurricane.com may say, hey, they didn't even come close to qualifying, but you came that close. I mean, you came that close.
2.4 seconds.
Yeah.
2.4 seconds. So, our whole season again comes down to a very close margin with UCF, and that's why you race the races. I mean, that's the reason that we don't just crown a champion based on the regular season. Because we got to get out there and see what happens. And I thought, realize, Bruce, that for all 6 of our boats, none of them had raced 2,000 meters from about April 8th until May 13th. So to have that kind of spirit in the crew was really, really important. They really kept their heads about not being able to get on the river because we had so much flooding from the rains and the
debris and all that.
Debris,
right?
Not trying not to damage the boats or get us in trouble in that way. So, as the coach, as frustrating as it is to come in second again, you had to be proud of the way that they attacked those races. And the water kind of told us a little bit because we were actually ahead in the varsity 4 race for a little bit, and we just couldn't hold on to it because we hadn't practiced that enough, to make it happen. But even so, they were still, all over, very close to winning that race.
Yeah, and it kind of a weird spring, Coach, obviously, because of the weather situation. No Lawless Cup, no going down to Oakland. I mean, it became a kind of almost a surreal spring for you, didn't it?
Well, and thank God for the Zinc Indoor Rowing Facility and the spirit of the athletes and my assistant coaches who really worked hard to keep everyone's spirits up, and we got this, we're fine, we'll be okay, and we were, right? I mean, no doubt about it. But we've never had a spring like this where we didn't have any races between April 8th and May 13th. I mean, that's very unusual for any rowing team. So, all in all, I think that we handled it about as well as it could have been handled. We were literally that close to having an NCAA bid for the first time. And, it's now we go back to the drawing board. We have one more thing coming up, which is the IRA for the lightweight women. And I think that they've got a really good shot at making that final at the IRA for the first time in the women's 8, maybe earning a medal. We're pretty confident that they've got the speed to do that, and especially based on what we did as a combined team, there's some real speed in this crew, and we're just going to try and bring that out.
Yeah. So the season is not over. The IRA coming up in Sacramento, and you have 2 boats going there. Is that right?
That's right. And lightweight 4 and a lightweight women's 8, and there's basically 8 teams competing. The top team this year is Stanford, as they have been for the last few years. But our lightweight 8 did so well at the Connect Cup. They were 4th behind, I think it was Stanford, Boston University, and Princeton. So, and we were able to get ahead of Wisconsin, Harvard, and MIT. So, if things have continued as we think they have, we feel like we've got a really good chance to nip in there, be in that final, and hopefully earn a medal.
Yeah, I was going to say the team has been ranked as high as 4 this year, right?
Yeah.
With the lightweight 8.
That's right.
And then hopefully the 4 make some progress there. Huh?
Yeah, there's some really great athletes, and we're still juggling the lineups a little bit. Like we haven't completely, because we still have the same issues going on with the water being high. So Coach Mott, Coach Ruggieri are both working really hard to make sure that we have the right lineups and make sure that we go into Sacramento ready to race at the highest level possible. And we feel really good about the way the lightweights have performed this year. It's going to be a great race.
Well, good luck out west, Coach, and finish up strong, I guess, huh?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
The head coach of University of Tulsa Rowing, Kevin Harris.